down, so you can't go up there yet. Alright, so we're gonna go back this way. That's just another people's living hut. And this middle hut, right here, is Waka's tent. So let's go in there. We're gonna talk to Waka, and of course, he's still not gonna feed the poor guy.
No time for lunch yet.
Yeah, it's like, great.
Even though there's something steaming on the stove in the background.
Yeah, and there's nothing really else to do right now. I mean, yeah, you could go up and try to fight mobs, but it just really doesn't, at this point, make a lot of sense, and you'll learn later why. I've never really tried, because I've tried running around the village to try to find other stuff, and I've never really found anything of significance. So I'm going to go ahead and take a nap to get this going.
And more backstory.
Yeah, and more backstory. Going to get a dream sequence here.
But they did have to get it in somewhere.
You can't interfere. It's a rule.
Because it is really important.
It's been
because this is one of those things where this information and like the stuff they show in the mood they set really sets it up for later.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you get down later in the game, it's like, oh, that makes perfect sense. I understand now why he is the way he is, or why he's, you know, whatever.
Perhaps you could go look for us.
People are searching.
Might be a pain having to go through all the cutscenes that happen at the beginning, but it definitely sets up the rest of the game.
Yeah. The only tedious thing once the backstory area is cut off is
but he might die.
You only get experience for people that were in the battle, so having to switch people in and out and try to remember who was in the battle, and they have to do something if I remember right.
Yeah, use an item or do an attack.
Yeah, with all the enemies surviving, which some people that's easy because Riku can punch anything and it won't do shit, but later on when you get Orin and he's one-shotting everything, it's like,
yeah. Yeah, we'll get into that more when the time comes. Because like I said, our party gets bigger.
Yeah, a lot bigger. I think you get 6 people? Orin. Oh, and 7. I forgot Kamari.
Oh, yeah.
And I think your party is 4 people. Is it 3 or 4 people at a time? It's 3.
3.
3. And you have 7 people.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Alright, so just go ahead and come up here.
Is something wrong?
Automatic cutscene's gonna happen.
Someone hasn't returned from the trial.
Eh?
What's ready to do all this today, too?
Apprentice summoner, really.
Huh?
There's a rumor.
Oh, I guess I was gonna stop at when we got to Besaid, wasn't I?
That's alright.
If the prayer is
well, I want to clear.
the apprentice becomes a fully-fledged summoner.
Yeah.
Remember?
Let's just go ahead and finish up.
So someone is in there somewhere, and they haven't come back out. Right, I got it.
A day's already gone by.
Is it particularly dangerous in there?
I don't get this part.
Sometimes, yes.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but he says, "Is it particularly dangerous in there?" And it's like
There's
sometimes
already guardians
yes.
in there. Besides,
Well,
it's
you know
forbidden.
what? You're gonna see it in like a minute. There is no monsters.
Hey, but what if
in
something
here.
happens? What if the summoner
There is
dies?
no monsters. There is no danger in there whatsoever.
Like I care.
Unless you have like a brain, whatever, from hard puzzles. And this one's not particularly hard.
Maybe. This wasn't such a good idea after all.
It was the... Well, there was one palace that was terrible.
Okay, this is Cloister of Trials. It's going to teach you about chambers of the faith, and in each chamber there is a Cloister of Trials where, you know, they're puzzles, they're, you know, you got to face mobs, and of course all that good stuff. So this one is probably the smallest one out of all of them, basically because it's the first tutorial. So with this one, you're going to go straight forward and you're going to take a look at this glyph. A lot of glyph touching, and, you know, and some of them are really complicated. I think I managed to screw up, I forgot I had to click there, that the puzzle, and then of course, you know, you don't get the destructive sphere prize. Because in each one of these, there's a destruction sphere that opens up a treasure chest, and you have to get all of them to get a secret dungeon to get one of your Aeons for Yuna. So I am.
Aeons will be explained in a bit.
Yeah, Aeons we'll talk about later. You'll get introduced to them in a bit. But there's glyph spheres. There's also destruction, and there's also like whatever town or village they're in spheres. So you got to kind of figure out what to do with what, and it's like, and the destruction spheres, their only purpose is for destruction, and you can only carry one at a time. That'll
even though you have two hands.
Yeah, even though you have two hands, yeah. It's, yeah, and you'll see where that becomes a pain in the butt later. And we're going to insert the sphere because you're rotating spheres between pedestals and this and that, and oh my god, you just want to croak. Alright, the destruction sphere, let's see if I can remember how to do this right now. Alright, we do this. No, we do this, sorry. Alright, let's open this first. Because I think this sphere we need to open that door is in here. Or is that the destruction?
This is the destruction.
Nope, this is the Besaid. So we'll take this sphere. And I don't remember if this is the right one either. Yep, okay, so you bring the Besaid sphere back to this pedestal, and he's going to push it in this far. Don't push it in any farther yet, because that sets off the next cutscene. You're going to want to come back out, once that little bright light blinds the heck out of you. Come back out, come this way.
What are the end first? Wasn't there another sphere?
We have to get this sphere to get the other. So we're going to take this sphere out of the door. Keep forgetting I gotta click. Sorry. Alright, come up to this one. Insert the glyph sphere. And that should open this door to the destruction sphere. Yay! And then you take this one. Come back this way, and right across where you took the second sphere from, you're going to put the destruction sphere in it.
If I remember right, this gets you a staff.
Yep, it gets a really good staff for Yuna. I mean, I think I used it a majority of the game.
Really?
Yep, because there wasn't anything else really, because you can modify the stuff.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that in this game.
Alright.
I forgot that was even a thing.
Yep. Yeah, there's just a bunch of different fun aspects. Okay, now we're going to come back here and push the pedestal. You kind of want to lean into it and then hold the button in that direction to keep it going.
Hey,
Hey!
what's gotten into you? Hey, it's okay. Only summoners, apprentice summoners, and their guardians can enter here. It's a tradition, very
See,
important.
like, suddenly his face looks normal again.
So what about you?
And by normal, I
Me?
mean, like, Final
I'm a
Fantasy
guardian.
X looking. Whereas before, it looked really weird.
A guardian?
I think it's the angle and the lighting.
Whoa! Ah!
Summoners go on a pilgrimage to pray at every temple in Spira. Guardians protect them. The Guardian's in there now. One of them's got a short fuse. And who
wonder
knows
who
what
that
the
is.
other's thinking?
Hard to tell.
Well, now that we come this far,
It's like one of them's got a short fuse.
might as well
You
go
mean
all the
both
way.
of them?
Yeah,
'Cause if I
technically.
remember right, Kamari, like when he tests you, can't he actually kill you if you don't use potions?
Yeah, I think I've died to
Yeah,
his.
because I was like, oh, he won't kill me, so I didn't use a potion, and then whoa,
What are you
bam,
doing
you
here?
died. It's like, what?
Didn't think we'd be able to handle it.
no, it's
There's the
just...
short fuse.
See, I told you she gets mad
Maybe he
easy.
was talking about her height.
Is the summoner all right?
Who are you?
But yeah, for those of you that remember earlier, we were talking about our favorite characters, and I said Lulu is one of them. This is Lulu, although we haven't gotten a super good look at her yet.
We will in a second, because now the video cutscene's coming up. Where we're introduced into the second primary character. And you know the funny thing is now that I'm looking at Lulu when she's standing there, her dress looks fine. The only thing is when she's in your party and at the end of the battle, she leans forward and it's almost like her tits are gonna fall out of her dang outfit. You know,
Well,
it's like
they look like that anyway, because like I have no idea how that dress stays up. She must have nipples of steel.
well, usually with dresses like that, there's like a
Man, was I
bodice
surprised.
piece underneath
And here
that
I was
holds
thinking
your.
summoners were all old geezers.
No, because it's tight enough across. It's tighter.
I think that'd be uncomfortable though.
Oh, you'd think. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they had duct tape back then.
Alright.
Or in this time, you know.
Like I'm saying, nipples of steel, they're just sticking out and holding the dress up.
Yeah. Needles.